a recruitment coordinator.
I'm Alex. I'm a recruitment coordinator.
My name is also Alex. I'm a call center coordinator.
My name is also Alex. My name's Lila, and I'm a recruitment coordinator.
I'm the last Alex, and I'm a recruitment coordinator.
Thank you for not all sitting 3 in a row.
I did yesterday.
I'm Marlene, and I'm a recruitment coordinator.
And I'm Haley. I'm a recruitment coordinator.
Victoria, and I'm a recruitment coordinator.
I am Emily, and I'm the special events coordinator.
Wonderful. College of Information Technology and Engineering. I will list off the degree programs and then give you a 30-second spiel on each of them. Does that sound good? Bachelor of Science, General Engineering, emphasis Civil Engineering. That's the green. All right. That is essentially the graduates work as civil engineers. That is an ABET accredited degree program. The Corps of Engineers keeps hiring our graduates, Department of Highways, local contractors. Huge demand for every major in our college, all right? Civil engineering is a very broad field. It deals with infrastructure. Out of civil engineering, individuals can specialize in such areas as transportation, environmental engineering, geotechnical engineering, because they're building on the earth most of the time, and then structural engineering, and each of those have subspecialties. So a lot of opportunities to go in a lot of different directions with civil engineering. Is this what information you all would like? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mechanical engineering. Civil engineers build things that typically don't move. Mechanical engineers, yellow sheet, build things that typically move. They deal with forces in motion, all right, going back to physics terms. Huge demand here. You're talking alternative energy. It's anything from working with nanoparticles and the energy that happens at that subparticle level to airplane engines and everything in between. They deal, I mentioned environmental engineering with civil. Mechanical engineers will deal not only with water, like the civil engineers will deal with hydraulic fluid. They also treat air as a liquid because they calculate flow rate. Okay. Let's see. Electrical and computer engineering, pale blue. Let me pause just for a second on the mechanical. In order for ABET to evaluate a degree program, because I know you'll get hit with this all the time, we have to have graduates. They then visit the following fall, and then they make their decision in the summer, but it's retroactive back to the first graduate. For example, last May, we had mechanical engineering graduates. We should hear at any point in time now regarding the mechanical engineering program, all right, regarding ABET accreditation. And we can't say, speaking for the college, but I can say personally that the visit went very well. So, electrical and computer engineering. We should have our first set of graduates in spring 2019, so this coming May, all right? Electrical and computer engineering deals with circuitry. It deals with that sort of blending of mechanical and computer science, all right? And there is overlap between different areas of engineering. 18-year-olds don't understand that, but there are those areas of overlap, okay? So with the electrical and computer engineering, it could be control systems. If you've turned on your vehicle, you've experienced a control system, all right? Because you've got mechanical parts that are also helping control things in an electronic fashion. So getting all of those things to work in synchronization, okay? They take a computer science class, so if they're not sure which they like, that gives them an opportunity to really get a better understanding. Biomedical engineering, new for this fall, long awaited, very rigid degree program, and most of the engineering are, all right? It just is the nature of the degree program. They, if you look at the curriculum, they're taking the chemistry with lab, they're taking the biology, they're gonna be taking human physiology and anatomy. They take all of the pre-med type options, but they also take engineering courses. And biomedical engineering is the blending of artificial and human, if you will. Maybe, you've seen more and more information about hybrid prosthetics or partial prosthetics, that the muscle is controlling part and then the prosthetic. That's biomedical engineering. If they're interested in working in terms of vaccines, understanding that more, understanding how to produce them in a different way, that's biomedical engineering. The graduates, a lot of them will go on for advanced degrees or for medical school, all right? So unlike the other areas of engineering, this isn't typically, if you will, where they stop, but some do. For example, Alcon, just out Route 2. I don't know if you all realize they're like a 70% market leader in the intraocular lens that people get when they have cataracts. So worldwide, that's a pretty good number. All right, they have biomedical engineers. Computer science, orange. This is software, all right? Dealing with everything inside the computer and getting the computer to do what you would like it to do. Software engineering, another terminology that you hear about this. We also had an ABET visit for this past fall and should hear about it in mid-August. It is optional for computer science. Engineering, you've got to have it. Computer science, it's an option, and we chose to do that.
Can you explain accreditation
Sure.
for the good of the order?
Absolutely, be happy to. ABET is Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology. Every degree program in this folder is eligible for ABET accreditation. And what that accreditation means, it's not that the program's not accredited, and that's a big misconception. Marshall University is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission, all right? ABET is a specialized accreditation to work as an engineer, particularly civil mechanical in the state of West Virginia. You need to graduate from an ABET accredited degree program. You can then sit for a national exam, okay? It's a gold star for computer science and safety. It is not a requirement, okay? But it does provide additional scholarships availability for the students. It just adds that extra, yay, all right? Previously with the program not having ABET accreditation, students were going direct from undergrad to PhD programs, including Princeton, by the way. They were being employed by the federal government. So it wasn't prohibiting anything. It's just a nice gold star. With computer science, they're going to take Python, then they'll take some Java, and they're learning how to program using those languages. Once they know how to program, they can get into internet working. They can get into looking at operating systems, architecture, cybersecurity, big data. How many of you all have gone to a local grocery store or drugstore, checked out, and you get a personal coupon? That's big data. How do they know you among all the millions of people checking out at that single time? So, and big data is taking all of this data, trying to get it to some form of a manageable information for the computer to be able to manage and analyze. It's amazing, amazing. New, also, computer and information security, all right?
What's the difference between this and the digital forensics one?
Computer and information security is covering the gamut of the beginning through.
Okay.
Okay, digital forensics is looking at a specific slice.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We have students who will bounce back and forth between the computer science and the computer and information security. They're going to take a couple of programming classes because they need to know how to handle it. Highest math they will take would be Calc 1, and then they'll take discrete structures. So not as much math, if you will, but really, really interesting. The division chair had a program similar to this at his previous institution, and there's some other specialized, it's not ABET, it's another specialized accreditation that we can go for with this. So, cybersecurity is a study of technology, strategy, policy, and standards regarding the security of operations in cyberspace. I don't know about you, but that's pretty broad. And that's the thing, there are so many jobs. I mean, we've had graduates work for Dell SecureWorks right out of college. They're working from home, 6 figures. It's insane. And that was out of computer science, just with taking the one computer security class.
You said new this fall.
New this fall. So both the biomedical and the computer and information security are new. Safety technology. Least known, high demand field. You hear me every year, those who've heard me before. Huge demand. Safety technology is occupational safety, keeping people safe on the job. Every company that you can think of has safety as they have it as a mandate. Employer, if you've ever been on I-64 going into Kentucky and you see the Marathon Ashland refinery, that's the 5th largest refinery in the United States. They keep hiring our safety graduates. And those safety graduates do very, very well. Disney has internships and jobs. Tesla, California, took 4 of our students out there for summer internships. Held a job for one of them until she graduated the following May. So this program, the safety technology, is ABET accredited, and again, it's a gold star. It provides additional scholarships, and for safety, there is a certification called the CSP, Certified Safety Professional. For anyone who doesn't graduate with an ABET accredited program, they have to sit for the first exam, called an ASP, Associate Safety Professional. Ours don't have to sit for any exam, which I love. They just get it because of the ABET accreditation. Our program is very strong in the sciences. So if you're talking with somebody and they're thinking, I like science, but I like all these different sciences, how do I apply it? This is actually how. Because you're going to take chemistry, you're going to take physics, you're going to take biology, and then you utilize what you've learned from that and those scientific principles in keeping people safe. You're looking at ergonomics. Industrial hygiene is dealing with toxicology, evaluating what type of secure suits you would wear if you're going to clean something up. What do you do if somebody's been exposed? Fire safety. We actually have a young woman who was hired straight from undergrad with the state fire marshal's office. Let's see. Construction safety. Huge demand, particularly with the state and all the construction that's happening. We cannot graduate enough students to fill all the jobs that people call us about. We constantly get calls. And it's one of those, well, I'm sorry, they had an internship in that company, they're already hired. So, yeah, it's amazing. We don't currently offer any co-ops, which I know you'll get that question quite often. What the majority of our students do is work in the summer, and typically sophomore year on, they're working in the summer in field. We have people who will graduate with 2.5, 3 years experience just because there's so much demand. Questions, please.
One thing I know the new recruiters don't know about is the requirements to get into to be fully admitted. So can you talk about that a little bit?
I can. So, and I'm gonna use ACT terminology because the SAT concordance is gonna change and I'm not gonna go there right now.
That's fine. Yeah, that's
It's like,
that's fine.
I know that they're all moving to SAT in West Virginia, but to be admitted to the college, minimal, they need a 19 composite and a 19 on the math. And that puts them in pre-engineering, pre-computer science, or safety. That's minimal, all right? For direct admission to the engineering or the computer science degree programs, they need a 21 composite, 24 on the math. And that places them directly into pre-calculus.
Do you do super score for the composite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Because Marshall super scores, so we use the
Okay, I just
super
wanted to
score.
make sure we didn't need.
Yeah, no.
Awesome.
If you are talking, we have a lot of students who are very interested in engineering, but they don't have strong math scores. If they take college algebra, college courses in the high school, $25 a credit hour. I mean, it's like, whoa.
Right.
They take college algebra, and then if they want, they can take trig the next semester. Their scores go through the roof. So it helps their test scores, and it also saves them a semester, if not a full year. Because pre-engineering, you're looking at 5 years. You got to get to Calc 1 to really go forward. But taking that college algebra, I mean, the difference in the test scores that you see, it's amazing. I'm astonished. And I really, really trying to get we had a really good result this past year and a half. We've been pushing that. And the difference, number one, in the test scores, so the scholarships they're able to apply for, but also just the shorter amount of time frame it takes them to graduate. It's the math. I have students who are like, I want to take 19 hours this semester because I want to graduate in 4 years instead of 5. It's the math.
Mm-hmm.
Taking 19 hours isn't going to help you graduate any faster when you're in college algebra. I'm not as blunt with them, trust me. What else?
What other questions do you all have?
If you haven't been over to the building, you should go see it.
So,
Definitely.
We tried to get that meeting space in there.
We tried to get that
Oh,
conference
that's
room on the fourth floor, but
Yeah, everybody wants to meet over there.
It's so
Everybody wants to hear
nice.
event over there.
don't you like it?
Okay. I can give you some fast facts about the building.
That would be awesome.
Sure. We had the ribbon cutting in mid-August 2015, so it's still relatively new. $56 million facility, 145,000 gross square foot, and that's outside brick to outside brick. The $56 million does not include the equipment. There's millions of dollars of equipment in that facility. The stairs, when you walk in, each level of those steps weighs 12 tons, and they were crane lifted in after the walls were built. They provide the structural support for the atrium. Really incredible. If you're at the touchscreen monitor and you turn around and you look up at the ceiling, you see these vents up in the ceiling. Because you have that atrium space, it's like a chimney. And because of that, if we ever had a fire in that building, the outside doors open up. Those are giant fans up in the ceiling. They kick on, and it sucks all the smoke out and brings in fresh air. And I know you think, well, that just fans the fire. You can put out the fire. It's the smoke that kills people.
And when you're talking to prospective students, they love quick numbers like that. So
Mhm.
56 million, that's something that like gets their attention.
Isn't it
Little
built?
stories like that.
Didn't you build it with like materials within like 100-mile
You're
or
close.
something like that?
Yes, this building is LEED Gold certified. LEED is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. And the building has that certification because they did meticulous record keeping in the construction. If materials had to come with a 150-mile radius. You're close, really. If there were specialized materials that had to come from a further distance, they had to document why. And that radius is set because you have an environmental impact beyond 150 miles, just in the transportation of the materials alone. You have the lights come on, they're on light sensor. You don't touch a light switch in that facility. There's individual air controls in each of the areas because some get more sun than others, some don't. The green roof up on the 3rd floor, if you've never been up there, go up to the 3rd floor and walk all the way toward Hal Greer, right? Toward the lab building. And you'll look out and it's wild onion, sedum, they're succulents. And they chose those plants because they have a very shallow root system and they do a natural filtration of the water. It's called gray water. And that water is used for one of the toilets in the 1st floor. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
They can also analyze, yeah,
I had no idea.
yeah,
Okay. That's a good little tidbit.
yeah, it's one of the toilets.
Sprinkle on.
Yeah. Not the water faucets, no. But they can also analyze the part of the roof that is filtering and the part of the roof that's not to get a sense of what's being filtered and what's not. So, and a lot of the students at that time helped plant that green roof. Yeah, but that's a tough one to get up to see. So, let's see. Trying to think of anything else about the facility. If they're in the major or they're planning on pursuing any of these majors, all of their subject classes pretty much will be in the building. I think some of the electrical are going to be in Gullick, so we don't have to tell them that right off. We'll wait on that.
They'll find out.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. We ran out of space, literally.
I feel like kids buy with their eyes, so like they like see that giant building and that glass and it's so shiny. But then parents are like, I think that the jobs would be like, okay, yeah, like definitely do that. Is there anything? Because I know me in high school, I would not have known anything about engineering. My mom wouldn't have known anything. And I know like some of the other like colleges, they do like open houses or like someone said they had like student ambassadors that like went and like community projects. Is there anything that like, especially local kids, because I feel like they see that giant building, like we could go there, like I could do that, but they have no idea, and like especially the one that doesn't require like a lot of math. Like West Virginia schools, math isn't like top tier. So is there anything like they could like just to get a better understanding?
Sure, there are different things that the Corps of Engineers sponsors Engineering Day, and they host it on the Marshall campus. So that's their high schools. They just need to listen for that. Engineering fundamentally is applied physics. You're dealing with forces at rest, forces in motion. Yes, you need to take a lot of math, but nobody expects you to memorize the formulas and you're going to be at the workplace and you just spout out the formula. That's not the intent. It's the advanced critical reasoning you learn from those complex math problems. That's what's happening. So, because I have some kids who look at the math and I'm like, sometimes you got to put your head down and get through it.
Yeah.
If it's what you want to do, this is what you need to do. I have been amazed at the success we have with students starting out in pre-engineering. They do very well. And a lot of it is that West Virginia tenacity. And a lot of it is they have the math skill, they've just not had the opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a mix of both. There's also Bridge Day, and that's hosted in the Weisberg Applied Engineering Complex. Computer Science does summer camps. They've held 2 this summer, and I think they plan to do that every summer.
Okay.
So there are a lot of different activities.
So it's just keeping their ears peeled to
And there
actually
are,
listen for
yeah,
them.
there are jobs locally, regionally, nationally for every major in that folder. That's not an issue. The issue is finding enough students.
I think green and white days, you always do like a facility tour and stuff like that.
Yes, we did.
So if you get anyone interested, you can always tell them about green and white days.
I don't know what they'll be doing in the future because I've
I
transitioned to a new
know.
position.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah, once you're not doing this anymore, you need to let us know who's the new you. Because Elizabeth's always like our go-to person if we get people who like want to visit. And have a meeting, and
She actually
she lets
emailed
them
us
tour the
back.
facility
Yes.
with her and all that kind of stuff. So as soon as you know who that is, let us know.
You're like amazing with all the individual
Thank you.
families that like contact us and want to talk to somebody, and
True.
they need somebody to kind of
We're
hold their
really
hand and
disappointed.
Yeah, we're like, we were like,
Big shoes to fill.
Well, thank you. Right now, I know that they're looking to the chairs to handle that. I think at some point in time things will evolve, but I enjoy meeting with the students, and I think that's why it works, is because I have fun with them. But I'm sure the chairs will take very good care of them, and I'm sure you'll have remarkable success dealing with the chairs. And I appreciate everything. I've been assistant associate dean for 20 years. I was ready for a change.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Yes.
It's just, I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to find people that genuinely care about students. I mean, not just in your college, in that college, but across the board. So when we have a person that's a go-to person, we lean on them heavily.
That's okay.
So.
That's okay.
Half the battle is somebody that returns your emails. That's half the battle.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
well, we appreciate your time. And
Yeah,
Sorry about the
thank you so
confusion.
much.
Oh, it's
no,
fine.
I got the
you're
call and I was thinking, admissions, well, we were going to do some banner training, maybe that. And that's where my brain went.
I should have just said recruitment,
Thank
and
you.
you would have known.
Yes.
But yeah,
I
it's-
understand it's admissions
We're
now.
trying to transition our work.
And then once I said the student center, you were like, yes, that's where I need to be.
Brain was just going in another direction. And it's right now through mid-August, I'm doing both.
Yeah.
So my brain is a little
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
extra folders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
so much.
Sure. Between now and mid-August, if you have people who want tours, let me know.
Okay, and then after that, just contact the department chairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can contact the dean's office.